Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to another video lecture by Kami Microbiologist. Today in this video lecture we are going to talk about types of T cell in detail. In the previous video lecture, if you guys remember, we talked about the T cell biology and we also talked about the T cell receptor in detail. If you missed these video lectures, so go back to my channel and watch first these two video lectures because it is very important to understand the concept behind the T cell. Okay, so let me start. So what are the types of T cell? There are different types of the T cells that are involved in the immune system, and every type of the T cell have their unique job. Okay, so what kind of T cells we have inside the immune system? So let me write. So the first type or the first T cell that are activated in the immune system, we call that helper T cell. Helper T cells. This is the first type of the T cell. Inside this helper T cell, we have different types of the helper T cell. Like in short form, we can write TH. Helper T cell 1. We have helper T cell 2. We have helper T cell 17. And we have follicular helper T cell. Okay, cell. So these are different types of helper T cell. Now inshallah, in the next video lecture we are going to talk about, we are explaining helper T cells in detail. But let me tell you here a little bit that what is actually helper T cell. Helper T cell, as the name suggests, these are those cells which are activated when there is infection occur inside the body. Let's suppose if the infection occur inside the body, any microbial infection, then the helper T cell will get activated, and due to their activation they will activate some other immuno cells, and once the other immuno cells are get activated, so the infection are under the control. So this is the job of helper T cell, that they will involve to activate the other T cell, the other cells, macrophages or other types of amino cells, and we will explain that what kind of cells they will activate. Okay, as the name indicate helper, so it means that they will help to activate the other immuno cells. Okay, then we have another type of T cell, we call that cytotoxic T cells or natural killer T cell. Both, in some cases both are the same, but in some cases both are also different. Okay, cytotoxic T cell and natural killer T cell, these are sometimes same cells or sometimes these are different cells. First of all, I already explained the natural killer T cells in detail. You can go back and watch it. Now, after the helper T cell, then we will explain the cytotoxic T cell in detail. But let me tell you a little bit about that. Cytotoxic T cell, as the name suggests, cytotoxic means these are the toxin cells for the other infected cell. These cells are activated at that time when the cell are become infected. Then what happens when the cell become infected? Then the cell will secrete a kind of interleukin or a kind of cytokines, due to which cytotoxic T cells are get activated and they directly kill the infected cell. Sometimes the helper T cell will get activate the cytotoxic T cell. So again, this is the type of T cell which are specially responsible to kill the infected cell. When the cell are infected with viruses, bacteria or any kind of microbes, when the cell are infected, so then this cell will get activated and kill it. Then we have natural killer cell. Although natural killer cell have also the same job, that's why I also mention it in the same category. But let me tell you, natural killer cell are those cells which are activated at that time when there is the tumor cell formation occur. So then the natural killer cell will activate. Natural killer cell are also activated in case of the virus infected cell as well. But it will be activated at that time when there is the tumor cell formation occur. So then this cell will get activated and they will kill the tumor cells to prevent the cancer. Okay, I already explained it. You can go back and watch it. Now then we have another type of T cell. We call that suppressor or T regulatory cells. Suppressor or T regulatory cells. So just imagine the name. Suppressor means to suppress something. Regulatory means to regulate something. Okay. So as the name suggests, these are those types of the T cell which are activated at that time when there is hyperamino cells activation occur, or when there is hypersensitivity, or when there is autoimmune disease occur. So then at that time the T regulatory cells are get activated. Now how? Let's suppose so. There is any allergen comes inside the body. Any type of allergen comes. Due to this allergen, what happen? Our amino cells, a lot of amino cells are get activated due to a lot of secretion of cytokines, due to which a lot of amino cells are get activated. It will cause hyperamino cell regulation. Due to this way, the amino cells are become crazy, and once they become crazy, so they will attack on their own tissues. So once they attack on their own tissue, so what happen? Our tissue are become damaged due to these amino cells. Although tissues are our own body parts, so it become healthy, but due to the hyperregulation cell activity, it will start killing the tissue, and this disease is called as autoimmune disease. At that time, what actually happen? The killing or the affected tissues by different types of amino cells, they will secrete a kinds of interleukins, a kinds of cytokine, due to which suppressor T cells are get activated or T regulatory cell are activated. And these T regulatory cell will secrete different kinds of interleukins, due to which different amino cells will be suppressed. And once different amino cells are suppressed, so then the autoimmune disease are under the control, or the hyperamino cells activation are under the control. So this is the job of T cell regulatory T regulatory cell. Then next we have memory T cells. Okay, now what are the memory T cells? As the name indicate, memory means the information stored. Okay, now what happen? First of all, let's suppose any kind of infection come inside our body, or microbial pathogen come inside our body, then they will cause infection. After that, what happen? During this time, what happen? Different T cells will get activated, and they start to killing the infection, or they start to killing the microbes. After that time, each T cells will store the information of that microbes. Okay, for example, microbium tuberculosis, if they comes inside our body, so then each T cell will store the information of that microbial microbium tuberculosis. So they will just store the information that what kind of damages this microbium tuberculosis can cause, and what are the structure of this microbium tuberculosis, each and everything. They will store the microbium tuberculosis a lot of information. Once they store all these information, then what happen? Then each cell will convert it into a cell which we call a memory T cell. Now, during second infection of the same microbes, if the same microbes, for example, the same microbial tuberculosis comes inside our body, okay, so then what happen? Each cells are now ready. Just this memory T cell are get activated against in the same cells, and they will control the infection, or they will kill the same microbes immediately and fastly as compared to the first infection. So in the first infection, the T cells doesn't know that what kind of infection they can cause, what kind of damages they can cause. But for the first time, when they stored all the information and when they convert it into memory T cell, then at the second time, they know everything about the infection. They know everything about the pathogen or the microbes. Then at the second time of the infection, then they are ready. Each T cells are ready, and due to this way, they directly kill the microbes. So the cell which can directly kill the microbes and store everything or the information, we call that memory T cell. because they can store the memory of each and everything of the microbes. Just imagine, if you guys remember, the B cells have also the same function. Okay, so I already explained the memory B cells in detail. You can go back and watch that video. So this is all about the memory T cell job and their function and each and everything. Okay, so these are the most important types of the T cell that we are going to talk about in detail in step-by-step video lecture. Inshallah, in the next video lecture, we are going to talk about helper T cell, their types, helper T cell type 1, 2, 3, 17, the cytokines released from the helper T cell and their function, action, activity, each and everything. We are going to talk about helper T cell in detail. So please stay tuned and keep watching that video. Thank you so much.